Anger is the instinct to control emotions. Emotions are a skill. If you don't master your emotions, you'll become a slaves of emotion. Say everything out loud, cover everything up, right? Is straightforward but never learn to consider before speaking. The biggest mistake we make is to keep all our bad habits and emotions most negative for the most loved ones. Do not let negative emotions show on the face, because it is a kind of expression that makes others disgusted. If you can't even control your own emotions, then no matter what you do, have the whole world, sooner or later you will destroy it all. You may never know the things you said when you couldn't control your emotions. How much a word hurts a person. A kind word can warm a whole season. One bad word can make June cold. You never know how one word said in anger can hurt others, even those who are close to you. The more mature you become, the more you must learn how to control yourself. Control your emotions. Don't let temporary emotions make you lose the person you love. The person who can fix your personality is the one you love and can bear. Your personality is a lover. You are at peace wherever you are far away. Quiet in the midst of noise and disturbance if the mind is calm. Peaceful as the night life. In this province, when you are happy, don't be too happy because it will. When you are sad, don't be too sad because there will be times when you are happy. Take a step forward and fight. If you lose yourself, you should stop and step back. To understand yourself, you should step back a little more. It doesn't matter how many more steps life sets out to give you. Reaching for is just a relative to words of success in the future that society. What's the point of human beings locking your current life in a prison when we're always chasing shadows? Chasing the image and letting the present fall into the world of nostalgia? One day on soul return to body, breathing in and out. Stop and listen to life happily. Pure happiness lies in a peaceful and deep heart. Harmony and bestness. 7 attitudes of people who know how to live. A positive thought. Thoughts shape who we are. You are what you think you are. You think you are. You think you are useless. You will never amount to anything because you never take action. Think you are smart. Of course you will be smart because you will know how to create that. Just think positive. Everything will be fine. Life will be. You are sad because you always try to turn everything you encounter in life into your own joy. Know yourself and know others is to be smart and know. I mean enlightenment. Winning over myself is more meaningful than winning. The 1,000 Tran battles are a profound lesson that everyone needs to know to conquer themselves. Our mind is the biggest obstacle that humans have to go through, so we should practice meditation to understand yourself, know what you like and what you need to do to get it. Satisfying what you like is the way to help you live happier every day. Day 3. Replace envy with admiration. If you are jealous of other people's success, your mind will be sad instead. Then accept the success of others with admiration, and a calm mind will help you to take the good of others as an example for yourself, thereby having the motivation to strive. Jealousy only makes our hearts suffer. Dirty. Even make yourself degenerate into a person who specializes in doing evil deeds that even you yourself unexpectedly seeks serenity within. The mind works until the end just wants you to be at peace and enjoy life. We often seek serenity within, outside, without knowing that purity actually lies within our mind. If we reduce greed, anger, ignorance, and jealousy, we will naturally feel our true soul. Serenity. See life suddenly light. Why is anger like a hot coal? Hurt others, but the first person to get burned is yourself. Will have times you are harsh with people, but you do not expect that it will harm yourself. Never say anything when you get angry, because you lose your mind, because you are so angry that you easily say harsh words that hurt other people. Break up relationships. 6. Kind to all people. One who knows how to live is always gentle with children. Love the elderly, sympathize with the suffering, benevolent to the weak and the oppressed. Mistakes. At some point in your life you will fall into those situations, so know how to be compassionate with everyone. From today on, everyone has their own suffering. Some people suffer a lot, some people suffer less, only they understand. Live kindly. To love and sympathize with them while always looking at others with compassionate eyes. You will always be beautiful. Everything will be perfect. Your heart will be purified by actions. The good you give to others depends on 7. People who know how to live often let everything depend on fate. What belongs to you will belong to you. What is not yours will never belong to you. So if you want to grasp something, especially love, then let it be. Fate. You can try to pursue what you want, but sometimes you have to know how to let go if things are too much and you can no longer hold on. Holding on only makes you miserable. Then sadness will be inevitable. Mind will be light if you let things be. That is the way you can easily accept life over love and money. Fame and fortune last for 1,000 years. The mouth of the cup of life is bound by the moon. Whoever has not yet penetrated the red dust Then just continue. Spell dreams when you live listlessly. Suddenly enlightenment on the shore of suffering. Happy the way we choose to live, we choose to be sincere and speak frankly. Win because we understand that lies against conscience are only temporary. When dealing with situations, there is only sincere treatment and sincere words. Only then can we truly solve the problem at its root and not leave any consequences. We cherish the friendship, don't we? Because we kneel, but because there is no need to throw away the good times. Between us, we choose to be good people, not because we are weak, but because we understand that kindness is the original nature of human beings. Human nature is originally created by meditation. People should not choose the path of becoming evil. Evil people will surely have their retribution. We choose to be foolish not because we are truly foolish, but because we understand that when faced with unjust misunderstandings, don't be petty. If you calculate too much, just smile. Smile and dive. Looking at the world sometimes pretending to be stupid is not really stupid. Just want to give the other side another chance. We choose to yield to look not because we retreat, but because we understand that a little patience and you will live in peace. A little retreat and you will see the sea. The sky is high and we choose to forgive not because we are needy. Weakness because we understand that forgiveness is one of the best virtues in the world. Life is never wrong, we choose to forgive, there is still a reason. Different not because we do not stand firm, but because we understand that everything. Don't let life, which has so much to offer, be destroyed. Like it or not, they still exist. However, when faced with life, attitude. How we live our lives is the most important thing. The ups and downs of this world are not the most important. To let the heart be framed between impermanence, sitting awake at the smile spreading to infinity. The secret to keeping the soul peaceful. Stay away from negative conversations and negative people. Don't hold on to hatred and anger, learn to forget and forgive. Third, don't be jealous of others. Fourth, accept what is not good. Can change the year, learn to be more patient and forgiving. More tolerant of people and events. 6. Don't look at things from a one-sided personal perspective. Don't dwell on the past and forget the present, affecting the future. Lie 8. Learn how to relax your mind in a day. Take at least 10 minutes to look back on the past day and give spiritual lectures in the midst of a life of regret. Music. 9. Best ways to relax is to walk. Meditation every day. When the mind is at peace, the body will quickly recover energy through time, and remember, no one can give you the peace outside yourself. Life, oh strange happiness. Worry. Stop worrying, let's go back to the quiet world. Both sides are tired of waiting for happiness. If you just sit and wait for happiness to come to you, if you do, you'll probably have to wait all your life. So take the initiative to create happiness by the following suggested ways. When thoughts and sadness come, push them out of your mind and remember that you don't have enough power to change the situation, so the best way is to calmly think. Consider everything to get used to feeling yourself. Be happy and make it one of your main practices. Laugh at yourself often. Yourself and others, and let everyone know that you are a happy person. Fuqua tries to make people around him happy. When you see someone meeting her, offer to help them even if it's not your job. Doing something can be very small, for example giving directions to a tourist so that he can quickly get to where you want to go. The joy of the person you help is sure will make you feel happier. For don't forget the people who made your life will be brighter and less miserable. Take the initiative to spend more time on yourself. Those people tried to be less critical of his actions. Other people will help you avoid many negative feelings. Minimize jealousy because it can harm many people in your life. Feel unhappy without realizing that their expectations are completely unrealistic, and happiness is a relative concept. 7. Don't try to be completely happy all at once. You should be happy. Enjoy the little things rather than waiting for something big. The more altruistic one is, the more peace one hears blooming in one's heart. The more selfish one is, the more altruistic one is. Pass through anxiety, worry, and pain. Calm your mind and realize deep silence between the two. Where there is gain, there is loss. Where there is sadness, there is joy. Both are not real, not secretly happy. After the rain comes the sun. It's all white. The dark figure sat silently watching the clouds drift gently. Yesterday night we met. This morning we parted ways. We met briefly and then parted sadly. Because if you love someone, you will betray them. The low notes in life seem to blame someone. My suffering today will also become tomorrow. Past and tomorrow too. Past is pale. To know the two words acceptance is to know how to live according to fate, a stupid human life. Crazy in love, passing through the street, calm heart, watching the stream. Life is unpredictable, knowing that 100 years is just a dream, why worry? Don't wait until you're old to realize what makes you happy. I am happy. What is happiness? Where to find it? To be happy, people always want to find happiness, but do not understand that happiness is in very simple things. Have you ever sat alone in silence? Be quiet and think about questions like who are you, why are you here? What is the most important thing in your life? The answer depends. What is your purpose in life if your purpose in life is wealth? Yes, money is the most important if it means having a high position in life. In life, career advancement is the most important thing, but if that is, happiness, family and love and spiritual life are important. The happiest person is the one who knows how to bring happiness to those around him. I think the most important thing in every person's life is live to make yourself happy and to do that you need to bring happiness to your family, friends, colleagues, and don't forget to bring happiness. Bring yourself to the entertainment with many people around. Life is always diverse and rich, always pay attention to all things. When you are sick, someone takes care of you wholeheartedly. That is happiness when you are sick. When you are cold, someone hugs you, that is happiness. When you cry, someone comforts you. It is happiness when you are old and have someone to keep you company. It is also happiness when you are old and have someone to keep you company. Say someone forgives you, this is happiness when you work hard. The one who sympathizes is also happiness. Happiness is not around you. How many people, but how many people beside you happy not? It's not that you drive luxury cars, it's that you drive home normally. Happiness is not how much money you have but how you do it every day. Freedom of mind and soul to do what you love. Happiness is not husband and wife. Your success beautiful out that your husband wife can always smile. Happy smile is not about eating well and dressing well but about having no illness or trouble. Happiness is not when you succeed and get a big kiss. When you are down and out, there are still people who say, my friend, co. Happiness is not how many sweet words you hear but when you feel love, shed tears, someone told you it's okay because I'm here. Here, and happiness is when still have parents. The side of life we are not born into. The powerful should rely on their own efforts. Tell yourself never to give up. The future is still long ahead. We do not have hearts of stone or diamonds. Will be afraid when they are in the dark, and will want to cry when they are heartbroken. So remember, take good care of yourself because when you know how to appreciate yourself, others will appreciate you. You must know how to love yourself before you can love others. We are not good speakers, so we don't need to meet someone who understands. Explaining to someone who doesn't understand is useless. Just do it straight. A person who is not ashamed of heaven and earth and conscience will be enlightened over time. No matter what kind of feelings, as long as you are sincere, you will meet someone deep. As long as you give your all, someone will feel that life has a lot of things to do. Can predict many answers without further explanation. If you find it fun, then continue. Rain or wind, just keep going. You will suffer in front of your eyes. Must experience the pain in the heart and bear it yourself. Never depend on anyone and don't expect anything from anyone. Relying on anyone is not as good as relying on yourself. No one is as good as yourself. Good, so whatever you do, remember to pay attention to perfecting yourself. I am a weapon to kill people and ask and love what hurts people. I think is mostly words. Words are considered the key to open the hearts of others and also a deadly weapon. You have not seen the expression of pain of the injured person, you will not know the saying. How much it hurts when words are like knives. Invisible murder without seeing blood but extremely sharp and cruel. One sentence. Heartless, a cold look, a poisonous action to melt away all the hot blood. When arguing, not choosing your words or speaking carelessly can all become dangerous. Become a knife stabbing into the heart of others. The close of the relationship, the wound will be even deeper when the speaker is too indifferent, making the listener melt. Broken can also be due to the habit of eating loudly, talking loudly, and having a cruel mouth. It can also be due to the mind. Bad love gradually arises for no reason, but you should also think about the other person loving you. How can one endure and tolerate for so long? As time passes, the wound can heals, but the scar will never go away and may be painful or itchy, if any. Suddenly touching, although words cannot directly take someone's life, but it is very easy to do. Wear out feelings, push people away from us, lose gratitude, makes life cold. Actually, when together, people intentionally ignore their expectations. Is the biggest hurt, the heart dies and then turns away. How can it be saved? Being disappointed by many people will become quiet over time, will become cold. A lot of problems not an apology can exchange for comfort. Why in a harmonious relationship is it easy to get hurt and then want to back to the beginning? It's almost impossible to hurt someone and then regret it. By being a little more open-minded, managing your emotions a little better, and paying attention to your words. Say a little respect to the person you are with the present, then you will keep it. Good feelings when angry, do not say. Don't talk when angry because we can't predict. Can the words we say hurt the other person when we ourselves? It's not balanced. It's best to keep quiet because every word right now is infected. The heat of anger says nothing nice. The more angry you are with the people you care about. Think only the more angry who respects, who should distinguish clearly if can discuss the situation. Then it is best not to argue with unrelated people. It is self-inflicted. Frustration, taking other people's mistakes to torture yourself, only hurting yourself. I am a human being because I listen to baseless rumors. Backstabbing, causing misunderstanding, being treated unfairly, not receiving respect. It is necessary that there are times when we cannot help but get angry because joy, anger, love and hate are emotions. Not everyone can control their emotions in life. If you get angry, you should stop. Talk to calm down, practice forget resentment, shoulder blame. Responsibility to overcome mistakes and erase pain, then the work will expand more and more life. Life also becomes airy and light. More angry and self. There is no denying that everyone has times when they encounter troubles that make them feel down. Some people are too stressed out by life and some are too busy with work. Some people have unsatisfactory relationships, so each person should use their own methods. To relieve negative emotions, some people get angry, scream, and even scold. Beating people to vent anger in the heart of good and bad people, mostly due to Tsao's circumstances, made him easily irritable because he was used to being pampered and only cared about himself. Selfless without caring, not putting oneself in other people's shoes to consider and speak. Frankly selfish. Usually we get angry easily with relatives around and treat them more generously than strangers, sometimes relying on love. Feel for them and then let them be mean. The slightest thing makes us angry and demanding. Without thinking about causing harm to loved ones, one side enjoys love. Their one side is constantly angry, not selfish. Then what do we need? Look back at your attitude and see if you should continue like this. No. Reality shows that only people who lack self-control easily get angry. Anger, we all understand anger does not solve the problem but needs to be faced. Face the unpleasant situation to calmly consider and find a solution. Try to think. Hot temper makes us lose so many feelings and hurt so many people. There are so many things that once anger rises, there is no way to keep calm and continue. Contact with people cannot work normally, even breathing. See, the difficulty is not less beneficial, so do not think that habits are easy to arise. Being hot is normal. A person who can even control his own emotions only shows selfishness and indifference. Their strength only so show your mettle. Myself from the simplest personalities each. Some things about health today are very self-destructive. Health burns our life. We often make excuses. Work is too busy. Should not live a regular life, not diligently exercise, not value physical activity. Let health decline from a very young age. Many people have to wait until they get sick. Only when you can't stand it anymore can you go for a health checkup. If your body has a problem, or when you retire, can you start healthcare. Had unstable new precious, and is it too late to protect? If you are young but your body is exhausted, no matter how much you do, how much wealth is of little use in this world. The rich are so rich. No way to buy health, can only build a beautiful grave. But that's it, so pay attention to your health now before it's too late. Accepting the resemblance. For us, coming to this world is because we cannot help but leave at the end of our lives. Because it is impossible not to go, the middle part of life is up to each person to choose. Each person has their own lifestyle. Some people are jealous of their children's money. Is the source of life. There are people who take gratitude, joy, tolerance and contentment as the guiding principles for their life. Different choices but different life results. When young, you can want a lot of things. Lying on the sick bed, wanting to worry but can't, worries will shift to the side. Friends and relatives are afraid of being borrowed money. Parents are worried about their spouse, afraid of being implicated in illness. The leader was worried that no one would work, so he quickly looked for a replacement. The doctor was afraid of you. Not enough money to buy medicine and remind the hospital fee at this time is uncomfortable or arrogant. Cannot do anything, so when still healthy must know how to take care of yourself. Try to live the life you want. Life is not easy for anyone. Sweet bitterness, sadness, joy, and all the ups and downs can turn a miserable life into a romantic one. The cruel world becomes relationships. Only deep love can be called bravery for the world. Nothing is perfect. The sun is at its zenith and sets in the west. The moon is just round is the turning of the waning moon, so the most beautiful scene is still when the full moon has not bloomed. Incomplete feeling, lacking a little bit to become imperfect eternity. Only when people know how to accept can nothing become a hindrance. Become a problem like a person who knows how to bow his head so he doesn't hit the door frame and gives way. If you don't have to compete with others, you will quickly progress and your mind will always be content. Full of happiness. Happiness comes from knowing how to see our mind as heavy and suffering. Come to us often because we see everyone as bad and suspicious, but we forget one thing. The most important thing in life is that if we think bad about someone, our mind is bad. Before we think good for someone, is our heart good? Before we only have happiness and comfort. Full of determination to live when we think that no one around us. If anything, our mind is only bad when it is thinking bad about someone other, and we know very well that the other person is bad because they do not have enough conditions to express themselves. Show their good side. Let's practice looking at their good side. People who care about us have many opportunities to go up. We try to practice day, month or year. Don't see anyone as ugly. Try to see if your mind is light and clear. Aspiration is like a small spark in winter or a small drop of water in summer. To let our mind be present in the minds of people. Further than that, if we cannot see if we want to see the good of others, we should practice looking at people with the same perspective as th. With such a look, the simpler the look, the more our state of mind becomes. Should be light and bright. This sounds simple at first, but to have a look like. But never preach to ask for life to give me a chance to. Open-minded, tolerant, accepting, not hasty to judge, understanding and love to the end. Together with a free mind, less desire, suffering will naturally decrease. Go mouth, less talk nonsense. Peace will naturally reduce stomach. Eat less toxic food. Natural illness will reduce the heart. Less thoughts are confused. Natural sadness will. Without love there are no tears. Understanding there is no need for more. Fate comes, so cherish it. When it's over, then let go. Life's hand is not smiling, looking at life and people and yen, watching the natural sun. Then quietly watch the flowers bloom and then wither. Dust sticks to where people are bothered. Hey, welcome to Channel 1. The following peaceful life invites you to listen to the article Finding Yourself Among the People Searching. People in the Middle of Life, voiced by Tran Ngoc. Once you have a dream, never give it up. There is a fear 100,000 times bigger is when you don't know what to do. Know what you need and want. Success and failure always go together. Success is not easy to get, failure is inevitable no matter how many times. Whatever the result, don't be discouraged. You weren't born to be one of us. I am also a talented person. Anything needs a process. To be able to have everything we want, to achieve the things we want to have results can be achieved, just need effort, not only need to strive but also. It took a lot of determination over a very long period of time. There was a time when, in my life, I don't know who I am, what I live for, what I love. What is right for yourself? Recognize people around. Everyone has something to do, everyone has something to pursue, everyone has something to talk about, making it even more so. I am confused about myself, how much I love my job. I don't know what plans are most suitable for me. My answer is still no. To change my current life, where do I start? Ask God. Help me. Ask Buddha for me, because I don't know who I am, so how can I answer this question? Used to be like that when friends often updated about the countries they had set foot in and conquered. Something new in this strange world out there I crave so much. Like I can also be like my friends, can go and not be afraid of death. Can go without worrying about money, can go without thinking twice. Too much can go, and youth can also be brilliant ones like that just need to be. Go and experience. The people around me often get promoted, progress in work, earn huge amounts of money, have a full life, no struggle, no worry more. Never had debt like me, I just wish I could be one. From their perspective, life would be much easier when those people you around me. Sometimes I have bold thoughts and ideas to be able to renew my life to. Changing what is present, although very good, is still not enough for them. I still cannot dare to choose for myself. New plans will have a period. Our lifetime easily becomes passive with what we give, bored with what we have. Thinking about ideals and plans for one's future life is lost aimlessly. Direction like that, but life is like that. No one is better than anyone else and no one is good better than anyone. The result is not important. The most important is still the effort process. How are we? Never try to understand who you are in life. Find for ourselves the final outcome of our destiny. If we don't now, if we stand alone and do everything we can do, no one can help us. Others cannot help you. Life cannot give you a better life if you cannot help yourself. Without being awake to stand up from our falls, from our deadlocks, there is nothing easier and always give us the desired result from the very first days. It is more difficult to realize that we finally get it. How much patience to the end is more difficult to realize. Life is not like a dream to have a lot of money, right? Knowing that every job requires labor. If you don't put in the effort to work, don't think about it. That sitting comfortably and eating from a golden bowl is something that only we can have easily. Help yourself, not that this life is lonely and cruel to us, but that living without yourself is something that few people can do. Help us no matter how much they are willing to help us, but we ourselves. Lazy, everything is meaningless, all is zero. Starting a business not only gives us many completely new experiences but also creates for us an extraordinary will, more resilient, stronger and more confident dare to do, dare. Accept more, so that later not only difficulties but also countless other bad things happen, but we still can stand firmly on one's own 2 feet without fear or hesitation and not easily fall into a deadlock. Like the days when we lost ourselves before, we all have the biggest answer for our lives. The answer depends a lot on our current actions. Think about the time that has passed. Spent in vain, the days just watching others live, watching others grow, watching others have a life is brilliant to make your boring life better and better than ever. People try one, we should try to see 10 people spend 8 hours a day too. Work then if we do not have enough talent like them, let's work anytime, anywhere within our ability every time. People work with what they have and we try to do more than what we think is too much. There is no limit to anyone's strength when it comes to achieving success. At the peak all limits can be broken, today are limits. Only at this level do we think we have done well enough to have success. Although we have achieved success like this, if we try harder, our current limit will still be a very low hook. Low compared to the many greater things we can do. Just try, don't be afraid. If you don't try, how will you know how much determination you have? Our starting point may be slower than theirs, but that doesn't mean what we achieve will be inferior to theirs. So, don't keep thinking negative thoughts about yourself. Wake up early and spend time watering the flower pots. Corner of the room, plan for yourself and write it down carefully in the notebook you use every day as a reminder. Remind yourself and take a deep breath, smile a little, remind yourself. With myself, I will definitely have the whole world in my hands because this world has so many things for me to do. Late success gives us more things, one of which is courage. Of the mature self, not only tears, not only despair, not. There are only hard days, but above all, maturity also gives us extremely brilliant and wonderful youth years. Salty because of stumbling on many things that almost everyone entering life. We are all very scared when we are still scared. We are not brave enough when we are still scared of them. We are not brave enough when we are still afraid. We are still afraid to shake our bodies, and if we are still afraid, we still cannot have new directions for ourselves, so do not be afraid. Just keep going, ignore everything around and keep going, because of us. Born cannot be a failure in this life. There are many people always give them the right to judge. We judge freely, judge firmly, as if they always in our lives, every minute and every second, no joke. Lost mind is like a wind that doesn't have time to blow through our lives, but when they talk to us, they always give themselves the right, as if they are talented and have vision, to know what kind of person we are and perhaps give them the right to live with us. We have experienced all the pain together, so we understand each other so much. Many people have never even met us once, but they have heard of us. People around say bad things about us. They also think it's true because of you. I said you are ugly, so you must be a bad person. Your life is extremely ugly, like what other people say. Others are more superior than us. They don't know anything about us and don't have any friends in common with us. This is for us. They are 1,000 times out of 1,000 complete strangers, but when their stories are about us, they calmly comment and ridicule us, calling us without a minute to reconsider what they are saying, what they are doing is right or wrong, should or should not. So don't see someone smiling and think they don't know what pain is. Don't think someone is stupid just because they keep quiet about what you say behind their back or say something untrue about them. Cowardly and weak mistakes. Don't see someone who easily forgives you first. The hurt you cause them that makes them think they are shallow in their thinking and lack depth in all matters. People who smile a lot are those who have gone through many painful events. Suffering does not necessarily mean complaining. Suffering does not necessarily mean always using tears to express it in the middle. This world is so stormy that they become stronger. Smiling is simple thing, but smiling after all the pain is not something everyone can do. Choose the silence behind all the false gossip about them is not because they are afraid, nor do they accept it. I was wrong to choose silence because I understood too well that this life has many petty people. Many people like to gossip about other people. If someone likes to gossip about you, you should talk back to them. For those who like to use words, the best way is to remain silent. Through many events, I want to stay away from gossip. Those who like gossip often create trouble for their own lives. We easily overlook things you have done that have hurt people simply because they think life can make mistakes and everyone needs forgiveness. Don't take it easy. That is the test of patience they give you. Life is like that. People understand. If they get you, no matter what you are, they will choose to be by your side. If you are truly good to yourself, no matter what anyone says about you, they will just stay silent and help you overcome all the bad talk. Other people don't make you better, it just proves how narrow-minded you are. It hurts. A person through his own words is the fastest way to make others understand your inner self. Before writing anything to defame others, you need to think carefully about whether what you write is right or wrong, is should or should not, before putting bad things about this person and others. Others take time to think about their difficult times where B is there beside them to go through those painful days without dignity. One person's character, one person is not. Things are perceived through words on the internet, through the mouths of others, and through our subjective perceptions and assessments online. Society is so dangerous now, everything can happen so quickly that a person's dignity can be changed in just a few sentences. Said on social networks, a few photos posted baseless, a few public comments, a few dozen verbal shares. Word of mouth passed from hand to hand and heavily kneaded into a bad person as they wished we all had. Good and bad side. The one who dares to talk about your bad side is your friend. Your friend who dares to advise you to correct your shortcomings is your friend. Many people are very happy with you gossiping about others, especially when we haven't had enough time to learn about their lives. That just proves it. Add to your own jealousy and envy. If you are not satisfied about each other, then should be silent. And everything, each person's life is each person's. No one is related to anyone. If you are not satisfied with each other, then do not hurt others more, because do not have the illusion that people will suffer for what you do. They have their own lives to live, and I don't have much time to care about you. There are many people in the world who think they are right and think they are talented and intelligent enough to judge others, but then they do not know that a peaceful life is how we treat those around us, how you treat peace with the people around you. What you get in return is not only peace, more than anyone else. You will see everything is okay. Much better you treat everything around you. The more thorny, the more Hang learns, the more things around you more easily turn their back on you, because those words, life always exists at truth. And when you have a life that always has the truth, don't be afraid of people's mouths. Don't be afraid of gossip. It's okay, just live, because you did nothing wrong in people's mouths. It is also something that needs to be experienced to be at peace, so that our souls can be trained more in this life. Just smile. But to live on, ignoring the bad things and forgiving those who repent, that is all we can do to continue living. When we meet people who speak ill of us, saying bad things about yourself is a good sign. Why? If that person cares, then that person will talk bad about you, so we need to be happy. Happiness in such cases in response to the care that others have given us. Remember the story of the rice cooker. Confucius is as follows: during the Eastern Zhou dynasty, there were constant wars between vassal states. The people of Fubok and Yuling were in chaos, suffering from hunger and poverty. Confucius and his disciples were also in turmoil. Fell into a situation where my child was a bit hungry and had to look different for many days. So no one complained and was discouraged. Everyone was determined to follow the teacher to the end. Luckily, after a long and arduous journey, the first day of arriving in the land of evil, there was a Hao Fu's family had long heard of Confucius, so they brought him and his disciples some rice. Confucius then assigned Zilu to lead his disciples into the forest to find fresh vegetables. Why did Confucius give Nian Hoi a disciple high moral standards that he placed the most expectations on the cooking part? Because his students were in such a difficult situation, so he assigned the temporary cooking task to the maid. The button grill is more complete and reasonable. So Zilu led the disciples into the forest, foraging for vegetables and cooking rice in the kitchen. Confucius was reading a book in his house. Lying down reading a book just happened to be opposite the kitchen, just a small yard away. Reading the book, Shadow of Confucius heard a tiger's cry from the kitchen up to Confucius. Stop reading, glance down and see Nian Hoi slowly open the lid, take chopsticks to serve rice into hand and grasp each small handful. Finished, cover the lid and glance at it around, then slowly brought the rice to the mouth. The action of Nian Hoi did not escape the eyes of the respected teacher. Confucius sighed, looked up to the sky and lamented, "Oh, my best student. Why are you stealing food from your teacher and friends like this? Oh Chow, how many expectations did you have? Put it in," and it disappeared into thin air. Then Zilu and other disciples bring the buffalo home and boil vegetables. Confucius still lies still, suffering from the cooking work. The grilling was finally finished and Zilu served the rice on top of all the dishes. The student clasped his hands and invited Confucius to eat. Confucius sat up and said, "My children, we went from the whole land to the road of thousands of miles." The teacher was very happy, because in the situation, in this chaotic, sun-drenched, rain-torn, hungry and miserable world, you still keep your heart. In us, we still love and care for each other. We still follow you through everything. Many hungry journeys different countries today first day to land bad luck do. How can we have our first meal on this earth as teachers? I miss my homeland and my country. I miss my parents so I want to scoop a bowl of rice to offer to my parents and teachers. Do you think it is appropriate to do so? Standing still, the disciples clasped their hands and said, "Yes, teacher, I will," Confucius said again. But whether this pot of rice is clean or not, all the students do not understand Confucius's meaning. Wanted to say something, so we looked at each other blankly at that moment. Nyan Hoi immediately clasped his hands. "Sir, this pot of rice is not clean." Confucius asked why. "Yes, while cooking rice, I opened the lid to see if the rice was cooked evenly. Unfortunately, a gust of wind blew into Hong's house and dust fell down and dirtied the rice pot. I quickly covered the pot but not in time. Then I scooped the dirty rice layer to the top and threw it away, but thought the rice. Then there are few brothers and sisters, but many brothers. If we throw away this dirty rice, we will invisibly lose a portion of food for our brothers. Have to eat less, so I have allowed the teacher and all the brothers to eat the busy portion first, and the rest is clean. To tell the teacher and everyone, 'Teacher, so today I have eaten rice. Now, I beg your permission not to eat rice anymore. I will only eat vegetables, and sir, I have eaten rice.' Before then should not worship anymore." Listen to Nyan Hoi finish speaking. Confucius looked up, face up to the sky, and sigh. "Hello, I see in this world there are things with my own eyes. I see it clearly but still can't understand the truth. Oh my gosh. If Confucius becomes a fool, what I fear is not the truth. It's true that we fear those who hide the truth. I remember when I was a kid I used to play a game that I really liked. The teacher will ask the student sitting at the front of the class to read a sentence in a few seconds, and the student sitting at the front of the table will have to repeat it. That sentence is for the students sitting behind one by one until the student sitting at the back will have to tell everyone what he or she heard. What's interesting here is that the content of the sentence that the student at the back heard was completely misunderstood. Changed from the original, and what I want to add here is that even though we hear something before that story reaches us is often distorted compared to the original, but no one knows. How distorted is it then? How do we know the answer? What we hear is true or not. The worst is we can misunderstand someone or something from the information they give us. The false information we have, and the tragedy is that we tell people to believe in what we see. I encourage people to believe in their own vision as well as in the visions of others without second guessing. A person is like a man carrying two bags, one in front of his chest and one in his back. Behind the back, the bag containing my bad habits, behind the back so I can't see anything. The bag that holds other people's flaws is worn in front. See so clearly that in the Bible there is a sentence, "Why do you see the trash in your brother's eye but you do not notice the beam in your own eye?" Yes, a careless word may sow discord, a cruel word may ruin. A lifetime of stress can be reduced by a timely word. A loving word can bring happiness. People die because of knife through heart. Someone die because a few words lead to the extreme of one word can make hundreds of hearts. A single word can move thousands of hearts and fill them with resentment. There are times when we're like beggars, constantly asking for people's opinions, thoughts and feelings. What do others think of me? I'm like a beggar asking for others' opinions, but I haven't once asked for your own opinion. Think feelings because we lack intelligence. Believe in yourself. The wise know the only thing that matters. Know in this world that is advice. Advice is something that anyone also want to give generously. The wisdom will prepare for us before we getting that advice may take years to prepare the ground, and only then can we sow the seeds. The sprout would be foolish if we kept spreading our seeds on the rock. Don't care that you're wasting MP. Don't look at the ink stains on the paper. Don't focus too much on the ink stains and forget that there are still many white spaces on the white paper. People are the same. Most of us only see the black spots, the dirt, the wrong things. Ugly, but ignore the blank spaces of other people's good things, then become a bad person. Others don't care about me. I think I always look for me first in every picture that is my image, in which I sometimes judge myself too. But when others try to find flaws, I upset. Why not send gratitude to those generous brothers though? Because such people have taken the precious time to observe themselves from the perspective of the self. The way we look at others is actually a reflection of our inner selves. A poor person will feel uncomfortable with those who pretend to be angry. Will always find others attacking and irritating him. A dishonest person will find everyone full of lies. All those negative emotions and thoughts all come from a mind that lacks peace. So what we need to do is turn around. Go back inside to nourish the land of your soul that is full of storms. Don't let other people's thoughts define you. I believe you don't like that either. Individuals need freedom in every thought. That is the minimum freedom we have to live. A life of always doing what others say without ever asking questions. No questions, no answers, just live. According to what others say is good, we need to think once is enough. Is it really good for us when we ask the question everything changes? Lie there living all day according to other people's arrangements, observe carefully and then we will. See if we do something good it will say we are stupid to do good. Pay people will laugh if we do something bad it will also say. What are you doing? I'm going to hell, I'm suffering for it, whatever. Whatever we do it will be there and condemn us. This is the disaster, this is the tragedy of the condemner. Within us causes every moment that little voice still whispers within us. So this hatred, this despair, this prejudice and bigotry, let's put it aside. Side to allow yourself to be heard, listen to, understand only when understood. Only by truly understanding can we create wonderful moments for those we love to learn to understand and feel. If you can't do it, just learn to listen. When we are silent we will automatically learn to listen. Usually we just want to say but sometimes forget we also need to learn to be silent is a precious asset. The most important thing in a person is not only a head full of knowledge but also a heart full of love, like a Zen master. Thich Nhat Hanh said, listen to understand, look back to love. A pair of ready hands, a listening ear and a helping hand are always needed in life. Before we say anything, we should learn to listen gently before we speak. We should look back and criticize ourselves before getting angry and indignant. Sit and listen to the breath, quietly look at the mind before silently praying for forgiveness. Others before the tears roll, know to stop lest repent too late before. The story of Goldstone buying rope from the binding watch. Before talking to heaven, look at the steps on earth and make sure you don't stumble. Wish to look up once looked out of pity. Life before shopping and competition, is it temptation calling and inviting before an engagement? Vow to still see if the first sight is intact. Before you want to give up, quickly remember the enthusiasm of the beginning. Before you give up, quickly remember the enthusiasm of the beginning. Farewell Duong Tran, live to give and show gratitude for life. Life before one want to see who smile first, smile on lips, greet before want. Taste the sweetness of the people's love and sacrifice before wanting to escape this world. Remember to sincerely recite Amitabha with one mind. The biggest mistake people make is never restrain emotions they live too instinctively, doing things just because of a little impulse. Copper but ruin great things, as long as people have relationships with each other, even if they are close. There will be times when we argue, that's the rule, so don't let anger take over. Reason only when there is conflict do we learn and grow, never. Now allow yourself to live for the sake of life, because perhaps no one is sincere from the beginning to the end. At the end of the day, when you have it all, you are their idol, they tell you what to do. Or the beautiful idea that when you have nothing left, you are just a mediocre person in the sentence. Their story only. In this world there are many strange people. Only see other people's mistakes but not see the garbage piled up on your head. Many people find it fun to criticize others. It's true that no one in this world is perfect, so accept that there will be someone who always tries to find your mistakes, like a person who is in need. A poor person will feel uncomfortable with those who have more than enough. A resentful person will feel uncomfortable with those who have more than enough. Another, as if provoking and attacking himself, a cunning person will see others also. Dishonesty is the way we perceive others. Reflecting one's own inner self, easily hateful, easily resentful, easily upset, also originates from inner turmoil and greed, anger and ignorance. We all want to have a ticket back to childhood, because when we were young we were so innocent and laughed so easily. The happier now the older people will see, the more lonely. The more lonely, the more troubled and difficult it is to have the so-called happiness in this world. And then for whom did we turn from a happy and innocent child into a monster? We are arid, irritable and unhappy because of no one but ourselves. Stubbornly put on a pair of low glasses to see life like when we were kids. We look at life with our pure, untainted eyes, but now, time makes each person lose that pure view of the world, just like wearing a pair of glasses with holes full of streaks. The color of social development makes us always wander according to theories. Right and wrong about life and other people. We always have two tendencies to look at things. What I like the people I love through glasses is just a grave. And vice versa, looking at things you don't want and people you don't like through the black lens is when your mood happy. We look at people and things in life in a gentle and easy way. More tolerant, we can smile at the antics of children. Patient enough to listen to a difficult story and easily compromise with seemingly unacceptable events. At those times it seemed like the whole world became so peaceful and just. A little worry rose in my heart, worries and fears about the past and the future makes our mind uneasy, and immediately we will see a lot of garbage on the ground. Other people's heads, then the children's screams and laughter will become An unpleasant sound or an unpleasant word can easily make us angry or hurt. Pity the little things that normally are not worth worrying about suddenly become an unbearable annoyance for us. Start to nitpick people to find out their mistakes, criticize them and criticize them. They are like a way to comfort their own restless mind regardless of what others think. No matter how wrong we are not willing to listen, not willing to accept, whether trying to try to blame others piles of garbage to criticize them makes our lives better, or is it the constant seeing of faults in others that makes us? Our image in the eyes of our friends and colleagues becomes much uglier. Someone once said that finding fault with others is like taking out the trash. On our head we pay attention to a bad thing is to bring more trouble on people. Life is very short, life is unpredictable. No one knows when death will call their name, so don't waste your time. Take time to judge the mistakes of others, don't stubbornly hold on to them. Let go of those lousy glasses and let life appear beautiful. More to make happiness easier to come into our sight than the ancients taught that if always seeing the mistakes of others but not seeing your own is not wisdom but that misfortune. Why is the life and path of a person in the human world? What is this world like? Outsiders can never understand clearly, so no matter who you are, you should not judge others arbitrarily. There are so many things in life that you need to know as soon as possible. Life yours is not tired and restless. Don't worry about what people talk behind your back, because they are the ones who only find mistakes in your life instead. Because of the concern to correct one's own mistakes, accepting the fact that others have the right criticism but you are not obligated to agree with everything they say. Live the life you like as long as you do not harm anyone, no matter what others mock or say bad about you. Both your parents. Follow your heart and practice it. Follow your passion and start proving others wrong. The most difficult thing in life is to understand who you are in the midst of it. The world always wants to make you someone else, so being yourself is the greatest achievement. You can do it. Actually, people rarely think clearly about right and wrong. By human reason often acts according to prejudiced emotions, especially according to heart. Your inherent pride, if you don't allow it, no one can be your friend. Feel worse than we always have or tend to see things we like. The people we love with rose-tinted eyes and vice versa. Look at things. I don't want people I don't like with black negative glasses. It's not that the world is wrong or that other people are wrong, it's that lies right where T is when looking at life with a problematic mind, full of negative emotions and prejudices. We see everyone is wrong. Every person born must take responsibility for themselves. Take responsibility for your life. If you are only living to please others, you will never find yourself. Given this life, try to live so as not to waste your time. Live and get rid of all the worries. How is the life of others? What is the path they take? Standing outside forever cannot understand, so no one has the right to be equal. Judge them, because if you have never really been in their shoes, you will never feel. Maybe you are more rational than them, maybe their difficulty in your eyes. It's nothing, but you can't use your position to judge or criticize. Quote, no matter what happens should not say too absolute, consider a problem should not too subjective. Sometimes we should understand and stand on other people's perspective too. Consider the problem that there is a fable like this one where there is a pig and a sheep, a dairy cow locked in the same barn. Once the owner bathed tightly. Take the pig. The pig squealed and screamed in time to fight the sheep and the pig. He is the one who yelled at you, "You are so annoying." He also often comes to arrest them. We didn't scream that loud. Pig heard that. He said, "He caught you guys. Like me, he caught you guys for fur and milk but caught me for meat." The sheep and the cow were silent after hearing this. The story shows us the person standing in a different perspectives, living in different circumstances, will be very difficult to understand other people's feelings if we can stand in other people's shoes too. Seeing the problem will help you understand why others are like that, which will be closer to you. More in line with the truth also makes the feelings between people more harmonious and closer. More so misunderstandings and conflicts are also reduced. Having one more friend is less go an enemy. That is not all. The endings in this world are not without fate. Everything has its reasons, and everyone's life has its reasons. Joy, anger, love, and hate that others cannot know. There are people who often do not ask. Criticizing others quickly when they see black and white is because they do not understand the underlying cause. Before you criticize someone, please understand the story behind it. Not distinguishing between black and white and hastily judging will unintentionally hurt others. If you change your position, you will discover that this world does not revolve around you alone. People each have their own story. They are all main actors in their own world, no matter the story. Is it peaceful or ironic? Everyone has to go through their own unique stories, whether tragic or happy. Life is impermanent, everyone has tears and pain. Learn how to accept it. Accepting and sympathizing with and treating everyone we meet fairly has a true story like this. A doctor, after receiving a phone call, immediately rushed to the hospital to perform surgery on the boy's father, who was the patient. Out of control, yelled at the doctor, "Why are you so late? You don't know. My son is in critical condition in there. Why are you so irresponsible?" The doctor smiled calmly. "Smile, sorry then, I was not at the hospital, just got the call. I'm so angry, I'm here. Calm down, calm down. If the child in the emergency room was your son, can you calm down? If your son died, what would you do?" The boy's father spoke angrily because the doctor was calm. "Smile, I will silently pray. We from the sand morning comes and also returns to the dust. Prayer is the word of God, please pray. May the son of the angry boy father you say." Only the kind of heartless person who would disregard the lives of others a few hours after a successful surgery could do that. It was a success because the doctor happily walked out of the operating room telling the boy's father, "Thank you. Thank God his son was saved," without waiting for his father to reply because the doctor leave quickly. "Say what happened?" Doctor asked the nurse why he is so arrogant. "Like that for a few minutes I asked. He picture my son cannot wait, father." The boy turned to the nurse indignantly. The nurse's eyes were slightly red. The doctor's son had just died of an accident. Yesterday when we called the doctor to operate on your son, he was on his way to the funeral of his son. Now he saved his son, must quickly return to complete the funeral for his son. This is the gossipy and chatto their life happen what they are. What hardships and pain would it have been like to be in your shoes? And I probably can't understand what you see as just the surface. But don't easily discuss them because we are not rational enough to understand joy, anger, love and hate in their lives to sympathize with their joys and sorrows. Their stance, each person is different, living in different conditions. So it's hard to understand the other person's feelings, so don't be arbitrary. Criticizing comments makes them hurt more than a truly educated person. Dwang will use his kind and tolerant heart to help others become better. Actually, it is also helping yourself become better. Looking at the pain. Only when you have gone through hardships yourself can you understand how much hardships others see. Only those who suffer and are miserable that they do not let anyone touch can know life. Other people's lives are actually the same. There are ups and downs, just like that. Looking back, we go through difficulties to know how they go through difficulties. The one who truly understands cultivation will understand the weight of language. It can be a knife, it can also be a rose with someone they understand. Should not only stand on their own perspective to see one side of a problem, so as not to cause more pain between people. Each flowers are a world, each leaf is a separate Bodhi realm. In fact, to do this, it is not difficult to sympathize with others, be tolerant of others, and you will find peace of mind in life. There is a saying that is very like this: happiness is not decided by money, power or appearance. Happiness is determined by how you treat others. You want to be the person to be happy, start being tolerant of others. When you start being tolerant, tolerating others and living in the present is also when we learn to be present. To feel the small joys and happiness around us, we know how to appreciate them. Cherish every passing moment, to be grateful for what we have and what the universe gives us, has given to each of us. Have you ever felt discouraged and despair when having to constantly witness negative things around you? Must be when you just want to hide in a corner, not daring to open your heart to giving and receiving love from others for fear of being hurt. But have you ever smiled secretly when you saw a small act of kindness? Like a girl passing by or someone giving you a compliment. Sincere encouragement when you need it most is like a small candle, can be low, bright all night, dark. Radio Street believe that one act of kindness is enough to push back the darkness. Negativity surrounds our lives. All we really need is to join hands to do good deeds for a better world. Life is like a journey on a train. When we are born, we step on, get on the train and meet mom and dad, and we believe that mom and dad will always be there. But then at some station mom and dad got off and left me alone for a while. As others pass by, they will board the train with us, our brothers and sisters, our friends. And half of us, many people, will get off the ship and leave a vacant place. So that every time I think of it, my heart carries the cool train of life full of joy, anger, love and hate. Farewell and farewell. We do not know which station we will get off at, so we must live the best life to the fullest. Love, forgive, give the best in us, because when the time comes we must step off the train and leave a place forever empty. We should leave the best memories for those who will continue the journey. Life is a long journey with countless events and challenges that require us to we have to overcome, but life is not a 7 waiting for us to fall into and then judge that those challenging events will help us grow more mature. With the profound lessons behind it, what can we learn? Perhaps it is very. There are many lessons, but there are lessons that we cannot ignore. For example, The lesson of gratitude. How many times a day do you say and hear the word thank you? When you say thank you, you have. Say it with all your heart. Surely you have enjoyed many times watching the joy. See the joy in someone's eyes when you give them a gift or help them with something, or when they are in trouble. Handkerchief friend. Lend a hand to someone to help. Gratitude is not just saying thank you to someone with someone else, but also to acknowledge their help and care for you too. From there, bring each person's heart closer together. True gratitude will be the strength strong to make our lives better. Lessons on caring in life. Everyone needs loving care and will. Caring for someone is not simply about watching them live. Whether life is complete or not, the most important thing is love. Coming from the heart is knowing how to inspire confidence in others, so remember that. Sometimes words are so simple and easy to erase the wounds in the heart. The human heart. Caring for others is the way to make your soul richer. Everyone needs to be cared for and will share, so never refuse. Care if someone needs you or you need someone. Another lesson about help in life. We do not live alone, and not everything can be overcome by ourselves. We need help. People's help is the same. People need our help. For example, if someone is having trouble starting a car, an elderly person is struggling carrying a map of dad, or a pregnant woman looking for a seat on the bus when she met. In such cases, you can reach out and do what you should do. No lesson in spiritual self-discipline. Intuition is the ability to overcome emotional exhaustion and take immediate action based on. Imagine one day you are walking down the street and see a big rock in the middle of the road. You see because you push it to the side of the road, then you leave it face down. There was an old man with poor eyesight who accidentally tripped over a rock and fell onto the road. Oh Luke! Now you realize that if you had voluntarily thrown the stone away, everything would have been fine. Different than self-discipline is like a useful medicine to help you overcome diseases like procrastination and laziness. Prevent you from doing many good things. More in his life lesson about love. Birth is an indispensable part of life and must be paid for at some price. When dreams come true also means you have to give up some things. You definitely have the right to choose your sacrifices for. So you choose so that your sacrifice brings the most good things for life and countless other lessons. But what matters is not how many lessons we learn, but what lessons we learn. What matters is how we implement those lessons in our lives. Life. Turn those lessons into concrete actions to make your life better. We are better and more wonderful this time. Reading. Please select very many profound and meaningful stories about life are very ordinary, life-changing stories about close people, and simple but hidden deep in each story are profound messages about love and kindness in life. Life always has two sides, good and bad coexistence. It is important that we choose to focus our energies on the why. Do we keep focusing on negative things and become pessimistic and desperate? Why in those times we don't look at the good things that still exist? Always be present in this life to realize that you still have a reason to continue to love, and therefore we still have reason to continue to hope. Besides, we should also thank life for giving us the opportunity to suffer, so that from that suffering we can know how to sympathize with the suffering of others and love life. Love more people. Thank you for your time. Take the time to listen to this reading. The following short stories will help we have a more optimistic and cheerful outlook on life. Hopefully, after listening, you will be willing to put aside your doubts and open your heart to give and receive love, because after all we live to. What if not to love? Finally, I'm home after 2 months in hospital from a terrible accident. Took away my right arm. I was so desperate and pessimistic when I thought about it. I have to change my life at the age of 60, and my health is also declining. I've lost a lot of weight, and I'm scared to see that I now have to depend on others. Different from the majestic arch in front of the beloved house welcoming me back, and familiar scenes slowly appeared before the eyes of my children and grandchildren. The little girl rushed out to welcome me home. My heart suddenly felt a warm, happy feeling. Indescribable happiness. Home is where I have so many memories with my loved ones. I love to step out into the garden. The grass and trees around the house are starting to grow green and bloom after a few days. On a scorching hot day, the tiny white flowers are so long and beautiful. On the green grass for a long time I could breathe the scent again. The scent of the fields and the leisurely watching of the dandelions in the wind. Suddenly dark clouds crossed the sky, and then True hurriedly brought a shower of rain. In July, my children rushed out to help me into the kitchen. The smell of grilled meat wafted out, fragrant in the cool space thanks to the sudden rain. Dowie, my youngest daughter, took my hand and placed it on my baby's belly and whispered, "Daddy, we need you and the baby. This child also needs his grandfather's blessing on the day of his birth. Don't let me sit alone for a second." Then the grandchildren surrounded me, competing to sit on his lap, and chattered. The next morning I woke up early and took my dog, Emsa, around the farm. The ducks are busy taking care of their eggs around them. The pretty straw nests are fought over by the chickens. Take advantage of the early morning sun to go out to the yard to hang eggs, then go back to incubate the nest of eggs that are about to hatch. I thought to myself that soon you will have a hard time with your little ones. Little sloth Pia has replaced her old fur with a pure white coat. So cool. Maybe it also knew I wasn't as strong as before, so it just lightly hit my head into me instead of stubbornly screaming like usual. Suddenly I heard the faint cry from behind the fence, stopped and poked his nose into the ground to search. Barking loudly, I cautiously looked around and discovered a pair of big black eyes staring at me. Looked at me scared, turned out to be a fawn caught in the fence. I signaled. Misha stood still and then walked up to the fawn from behind the poplar trees at the edge of the forest. Mom kept watching us. Na was still moaning and PH was scared when her hand touched hers. I touched him. I gently pressed him to the ground and used my only arm, his best, to carefully remove the fawn's trapped leg, trying not to. After a while of struggling, I was able to free the fawn. Suddenly the small shadow ran into the forest to the deer. My mother lay on the grass, her heart filled with an indescribable feeling, still licking her hands. I felt like sharing the joy. I laughed and hugged my pet dog. See, I just saved a life. That networked just in a minute. The feeling of boredom in me disappeared. I felt with a great change in my soul. I was able to enjoy the sweetness of the wind carrying the scent of young grass wafting over the lake. Hearing the slow, burning notes in the song of the larks happily welcoming the new day, I learned to open my heart, to listen to every rhythm of nature and enjoy the most beautiful and peaceful things that life has to offer. Me, and most importantly, I find myself still living. There are so many opportunities in life. There is no right or wrong choice because of choice. Your path will take you to different opportunities. The path you are on is the sum total. Other people's choice which path to take is not important because you do not never know what will happen ahead. Have the courage to walk the path you have chosen and don't look back when you feel like backing out or imagining what would have happened if you had chosen a different path. Think about why you decided to choose this path in the first place. Remember, if you choose your own path, you are luckier than many people. So don't regret what you have decided to do. Hold your head high and accept the challenge and the opportunity. Other paths may bring you other experiences, but at the end of the day you will still have a beautiful life and be unique to everyone. With you, like Nikolai Ostrovsky in Steel. I see it says that the most precious thing a person has is life. You only live once, so live it so that you don't feel regret for the years you have lived. Live a life of waste so as not to feel ashamed of one's own mean and cowardly past. When one looks back, eyes closed, can say that all my life, all my strength I have devoted to the noblest career in life is the career of fighting for the liberation of mankind. In story number 2, there are 3 workers working at the factory. While the school was building a building, a man came to watch the second worker. Most people wear woolen clothes, sweaty body, unhappy face. Standing there, seeing him, asked what he was doing. The worker replied, "I'm stacking bricks." The second worker did the same and the man asked him what he was doing. This worker replied, "I am earning $20 a day." The third worker, clothes, Lem's body was also slightly sweaty but his face was radiant and excited. "I work as hard as the other 2, but for me work doesn't seem to be worth it. Too heavy and stressful as for the other 2. The man asked the worker again, "What are you doing on Tuesday?" This guy replied, "I am building a church." So what is the lesson here? Look at work from the perspective of purpose, not purpose. Must be the activities we are doing with whatever you can do. If you can or dream of doing it, then start it. Talent, power and magic always stand with those who dare to think and dare. Is story number 3. A guy decides to come true his dream, but he was strong enough to make it happen. He came. "Mom, help me, I'm willing to help you, but I don't have anything." "That's everything Mom has." Mom gave me. Then the boy went to see a wise man. "Sir, show me where I can find strength, they say on the top." That Everest we went to and found nothing but the snowy winds, and when we go back to lost time then cannot get back. The boy asked a hermit, "Sir, please show me where I can." You can find the strength to make your dreams come true in your child's prayers. Boy, if your dream is not real, you will understand and find it yourself. Find peace in prayer. The boy asked many more people, but the result of the journey to find power is still only chaos. "Mom, why do you look so worried?" An old man passing by asked him. "Boy, I have a dream, sir, but I don't know where to get the strength to do it. To fulfill the dream, I asked everywhere from Everest to hell, but no one can help me." No one. Old man wink. Have you asked yourself how much time you have? So, don't waste your life living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma. Live by other people's thoughts. Don't let other people's noisy opinions overwhelm you. your inner voice, and most importantly have the courage to follow your heart, and your intuition somehow finds and intuitively knows what you really want. Everything else is secondary, no matter who you are. Be a martyr. Story number B. 2 days before I turned 30, I feel anxious as I step into a new 10-year journey of life, and fear that the best years are behind us. My daily routine is to go to the gym before work every morning. I also saw a man over 70 years old with good shape at the gym. One morning when I greeted him, he noticed that I was lacking vitality and asked immediately what was wrong. Unsettled with me, I said I felt anxious about turning 30. I crossed. I wondered how I would feel looking back on my life when I was your age, so I asked him. The best part of life is when there is no hesitation. Mr. Answer, this is the sentence. My slightly philosophical answer to a philosophical question. Of you. When I was a kid, I lived in Australia at that time. I was taken care of and raised by my parents. That was the most beautiful period of my life. When I started school and learned many things I know today, that is the best moment of my life when I got my first job and took on the responsibility of paying for my efforts was the best period of my life. When I met my wife and fell in love with her, that was the best time of my life. We came to Canada and started a family. That was a beautiful time. The best part of my life when I became a young father, watching my children grow up day by day. That was the best period of my life, and now I am 79 years old. I have strength. I feel as peaceful and happy with my wife as I did when I first met her. That is the best time of life. I live each day as if it were your last is a piece of advice. Everyone knows, but really who has the strength to do that? What if it rains or not? When you are sad, this advice will not be practical. It is better to live good and brave and strong and making a difference, exactly, not to replace. Change the world that a little around you nurtures loyal friendships with your principles, and live passionately and fully and experience the new thing to love and be loved if you get the chance. The story, music, of the year is told that Abraham Lincoln often sneaks out of the White House on Wednesday evenings to go hear the pastor Dr. Finn Gurley at the Elder Church, New York Avenue, preaching. Usually the president just likes to go in and out of church without anyone knowing, so when Dr. Gly knew the president was coming, he Thia's room door once the president sneaked through the door side of the church and sitting in the room saw the pastor's vestments right next to the arch. The saint sat in that room, leaving the door open just enough to hear the sermon. The pastor's sermon on the way to church about a guard officer asking Abraham, how did Lincoln evaluate the lecture? The president thought carefully. Lecture content, presentation very artistic, clear. Because the pastor put a lot of effort into choosing the sermon means the president thinks that. What a great lecture, the officer asked again. Lynn answered, but he just said. The content of the sermon was excellent. The sermon was presented very well and it shows that the pastor put a lot of effort into it. Sometimes choose lecture, but the officer beat Lou wonder. Yes, I'll answer. But Dr. Gurley forgot one essential element he forgot to mention. Let's try to do something really meaningful. Live an average life. There is nothing wrong with getting average results. The whole world is good. This beauty is mainly built on the accumulated efforts day in and day out of ordinary people. But living in life also needs to strive to do something meaningful that Link seems to have realized. Rodosky once said that maybe it's time for you to stand up and walk towards the pain. Can only exist in the absence of acceptance, and forgiveness of the past can only the way for you, but don't let it lead you. Take it slow, accept your destiny of life. Good for the present and today before looking forward to a better tomorrow full of promise. We are often disappointed by the most trustworthy people, are often loved by the most unexpected people. Some people make us cry. The things we do not do, while others overlook our mistakes and just see our smile. Some people leave us when we need them the most, while others stay even when we tell them to go away. Life is full of people. We just need to know which hand to catch and which hand to hold. Life is like this. How to hold on and learn to let go. Sometimes words aren't enough to make someone understand that you care about them a lot. Sometimes it takes a little effort to get them to understand that they really need to be loved. From today, when we looking back, we will smile and be proud. I don't think I can do it, but I did it. I left behind all those who tried to bring me down. Please always remember that we all have our own opinions and beliefs. We each have different ways of coping with life's difficulties and joys. To maintain our differences, not hurting others, is knowing how to live. Or as Martin once said, 20 years from now you will be more disappointed by the things you do. What you didn't do is better than what you did, so untie the knot and let the boat go. Leave the safe harbor and set sail to find the wind to discover your dreams. Going through the above stories, we see that we only live once. No chance to live a second life in this life. Repeat the plan. Your life is very important, otherwise you will just drift along no matter what. Discover for yourself what your needs are and where you will find satisfaction. Wishes in life. Explore your dreams. Think carefully about your What you want to do in life, choices make your life focus. Into the most important dreams, fill out big goals, set goals to achieve your dreams. Creating a successful plan to make achieving your goals a part of your daily life should not be lost. Time to regret the past in vain or complain about the changes that make us uncomfortable, because change is inevitable. The essence of life will always be a situation or circumstance. Life that we need to overcome is always just an event in our life. We can't control everything that happens in life, but we can control how we react to it. What happens to our attitude? We can control our attitude. Choose and decide. Don't be paralyzed by the pain others carry. Come to understand your worth. You have the strength within to hold your head high then. Just do it. You can't control other people's reactions, you just do it. Master your actions and reactions. Understand that even if you suffer, you are still have the ability to control your emotions, to turn things around. The way you think in life you can master. Be the way of behaving, spirit, belief, thinking, decision. Always remember this will give you the freedom to be yourself, to live your life. Your life, no one or you cannot let anyone take those things from you. That is strength. Your strength is your ability. It depends on you, not anyone else. Own it, master it. Take control of your life and never stop dreaming. Never stop. Believe, never give up hope. No matter how difficult everything is just superficial. We should never let trials and pains be obstacles. Hold us back from reaching our potential, and don't let them discourage us from achieving our full potential. Hope is for everyone. It is so easy to run away from problems and deal with them. Is what makes us strong. You will understand that you have decided. Decide right when you feel peace in your heart. Don't listen to what others tell you to do. Start listening. Your heart only has a few people in life who are sincere with you, and you should be one. Among them, listen to the voice of their own heart and soul. Too much people who listen to other people's words instead of their own. Deep down you know. Get what you want. Don't let anyone else decide for you for your life. Promise yourself to be strong so that nothing can disturb the peace in your soul. Look on the bright side of all things and make your idea of bliss into reality. Just think about it. Best, strive for the best and expect the best. Live with the belief that the world will always be by your side when you live true to the best of yourself. Always be yourself. There is always something you can do better than others. Listen to them. Listen to your inner voice and have the courage to follow it, and one day you will realize that you did too much for someone, and the next thing is to stop and let them fend for themselves. Let go. Let go does not mean you leave yourself, nor you don't try, but that means you have to set the limits of your ability. Persistence and disappointment. What is truly yours will eventually belong to you. You and what not. No matter how hard you try, you will not belong to you. You must have thought that taking small steps seems insignificant. It is often better to take small steps in the right direction than to stand still and continue moving forward. Come and you will overcome the obstacles that have defeated you before. Even if you don't see immediate results, don't give up, because every step your journey toward a goal that is still affecting you in ways you never imagined possible. A meaningful life is not about being rich, famous, highly educated and perfect. A meaningful life is living true to yourself, humbly sharing yourself and care about people. Only then can we live a fulfilling life. May happiness and fulfillment be like peace of mind. Soul is an important value. You will know you are living by this value no matter what. Whenever you realize that you are loved no matter what you do. Whenever you feel you have to be grateful for the favors others have shown you, and whenever you feel the unconditional love of others, appreciate the joy. You will know that you are living this value. Whenever you feel happy, go to work in a happy mood, like going out, and no matter what happens, your heart still feels happy. Be grateful for the blessings you have received and the beauty around you. The people in your life who take their health seriously will know you. You are living this value whenever you treat your body with respect and love. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama has said, I guess the core of the problem is us. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, and all we really have is right now. So, don't be angry for too long. Learn to forgive, love with all your heart, enjoy life the way you want. Don't worry that other people don't like you. Have fun with them. Someone who likes you. Wake up every day thinking that today I am so lucky. Feel alive in this life. I have a precious life. I will. Don't waste it. I will use all my energy to develop myself. Be kind to everyone. I will think well of others. I will not get angry or think badly of others. I will help others as much as I can. I do not choose. We have the right to choose where we were born, but we have the right to choose how we live.